So today on Howie Grow A Brand, we're talking about how you can take your product from backpack to the shelf of the most respected retailer in the nation. You don't want to miss this. My name is Ed Howie, and this is Howie Grow A Brand. If you like what you learned from this video, help us promote this channel by clicking the like button below and subscribing to our channel, Howie Grow A Brand. Ready to go? Let's get into today's chat. So Jacob, Quick Sip Coffee, we're going to, in about 12 minutes, we're going to walk through the process of how you got from idea to on the shelf at HEB. You ready, man?
Absolutely. So we are a packaged black single origin cold brew coffee. And what single origin means is that it's from a specific bean region that produce specific tasting notes. And it being a black coffee, there's no added sugar or artificial or natural flavors, right? It's all coming from the bean itself. And that's important because a lot of the cold brew industry is kind of focused around adding that flavor to coffee versus getting the flavor from the coffee itself, right?
Wow. Okay. So basically, this is like a cold wine, but it's cold coffee.
Exactly. Lends itself directly to a fine wine or, like a craft beer that's producing notes from the different grains you use.
All right. So, Jacob, how old are you?
I'm almost 24. I'm 23 right now. I'll be 24.
It's so funny. I love it. I mean, my gosh, 23. Okay, so you've got the wisdom of a 23-year-old with about 40 plus additional years of life experience in the last 4 years. So let's talk about Quick Sip Coffee. You started not as a cold brew. You started as a coffee shop or a bar?
That was the idea. We wanted to start a coffee shop and bar next to campus so we could both have fun and make money serving our friends.
And this was at Trinity University in San Antonio, and you were how old?
I was 18, very naive. I didn't have any money, and I wasn't 21. But
I love it.
I thought I could figure it out. All the bar doors we knocked on at noon, they helped me figure out that I couldn't do it.
How glad are you that the bar coffee shop did not come to fruition at this point?
Very. I've become friends with a lot of people in the industry here in San Antonio. And their hours are not ones that I think I could keep for a very long time. It's a fun gig, but I mean, man, that is even more work than we do.
All right. So how did you reimagine your vision from coffee shop bar to Quick Sip Coffee?
We met with the bar owners and that didn't work out. And we met with the coffee people in San Antonio, that being roasters and cafe owners. And we understood that we could maybe make something in that industry. So we just kind of hung around one of the coffee roasteries here in San Antonio until we figured something out.
So shifted from basically an establishment to a product line. How did you make that shift, and why did you choose cold brew?
That was the easiest way to deliver specialty coffee to the consumer. The only
and
other
why
way
is that?
That's because specialty coffee is difficult to produce, right? If you want to do it yourself at home, you need lots of equipment, that being a grinder, a brewing vessel, a hot water kettle, stuff like that. If you want to truly have a cup of specialty coffee and get the notes out of the regions and stuff like that. Alternatively, you can go to the coffee shop and wait every single morning or whenever you want to get your cup of coffee, right? So for us, we wanted to take all of that work out and just give you the cup of specialty coffee immediately.
Okay. So you decided cold brew is the way to go. What next? What happened next?
Yeah, so we one of the roasters we were good friends with actually started making bottles for us. They were in long neck beer bottles, and we were, selling it out of our backpacks on Trinity's campus. And my fiance was still a senior in high school at the time, so she was selling beer bottles on our high school campus.
Beer bottles of coffee, to be clear.
Of coffee, yes. Cold brew coffee.
We don't need TABC hunting you down.
Exactly. And luckily the teachers, got on the bandwagon pretty quickly. So she was doing a great job of making sure we didn't get kicked off the high school campus.
Okay. So you know, and what I love about that is, to me, the best market research is when it involves cash, right? And so
Yeah.
you try to sell something out of your backpack and it sells. That's pretty good market research that you got to market, right?
Right. And that's how we grew it. We, it was $90 a case. I remember specifically, we would sell them $6 a bottle. And I would take that,
Wow.
6 times 30. So it was 180. It was a double. I guess that would have been a 50% margin. Right. And then I would take that cash back to the roastery, buy the bottles, until we realized, like, hey, we could probably sell a lot more if we reduce the cost. So then we started.
Imagine that.
Right. So we started bottling ourselves in our dorm room, and we didn't tell our friends. They didn't care. So, and it was like directly, we could directly see if they got sick or not. Nobody got sick. We drank it too. So
Okay.
we just started making more money, and that's how we grew it.
Awesome. And so you're self-bottling out of your dorm room. And okay, so but like now you're on the shelf at HEB and Central Market. And for those in our community that aren't in Texas, I know many of you know about HEB, you know about my experience with HEB, but I mean HEB is like one of the most well-regarded retailers in the world, let alone the nation. And getting on the shelves of HEB is no easy task, as is staying on the shelves at HEB. So how did that happen?
Yeah, it was no joke. So this all went back to 2018. We're now in 2021. We just launched in August 23rd was the actual date that we launched of 2021. So it's been a long road. And the way that happened was, I was fairly studious in college, and it was some honor society for business, right? And the sponsors for this were, business leaders here in San Antonio. One of them was Mr. Craig Boyan, who's the president of HEB. And he's speaking, right? And I had just started this cold brew company, right? We were maybe a year in. We had just moved from bottling out of our dorm room to now bottling in like 100 square foot storage closet. So it was legal now. And my professor of entrepreneurship encouraged me, said, just go talk to him, just go introduce yourself. And me, being the introverted person I was like, I can't do this. Like, this guy's the president of HEB. And I'm just going to walk up to him and say, hey, I own this cold brew coffee company. We may cross paths one day. And I did that. I went up, I introduced myself, and I said, I started this cold brew company. I appreciate you, inducting us into this society. If we can work together in any capacity in some way, let me know. And, the next week I had a meeting with the buyers of the cold brew category.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did. And I showed up.
Okay, so I apologize to anyone in the industry who is like still knocking on the doors of HEB, because it is a hard, nearly impossible door to get through. I mean, I remember in my role, the number of great companies that wanted me and my team's time. We just didn't have the capacity. It wasn't that we're trying to be jerks. It's just the capacity. And so to be able to get in front, I mean, just to get to visit with the buyers. Wow. Okay, so the doors opened, but you still got to deliver, right?
Oh yeah. And I went at, I don't know how old I was, maybe 19 or 20. I went with a 6-pack, and our brand was not even remotely close to what it is today. You could probably go back to our Instagram and find what it used to look like.
Okay.
But it was close to a joke, right? And I went in with the 6-pack and a pitch deck, and everybody kind of just nodded their head, and I was like, yeah, man, they really liked it. I think it went great, because they didn't tell me no immediately, right? And I just went by the thought of, if they don't tell me no immediately, then we're probably in a good shape. That was not the case. That one meeting then turned into, every 6 months having to check in, every year attempting to pitch again, and just kind of showing them the growth, right? Like, the opportunity was awesome, and we're so grateful for that first meeting that we got. But we could have stopped and said, oh man, they don't like it. And that wasn't the case, right? It just wasn't the right time for them to take on our specific brand. And we had to continue to, grow and grow and grow and grow and not give up, to now, 3 years later, finally getting the opportunity to be on HEB shelves, and being grateful for every single year that we got that opportunity to meet with them. Because like you said, brands don't even get to do that, right? So a lot of people get discouraged in year 2.5, and they could have gotten there year 3, right?
Well, Jacob, that's awesome. Congratulations. on your success, but I got to tell you, more importantly, on your wisdom. I mean, there are a lot of people that don't know a whole lot that can figure out how to sell product, but you truly had a vision and an idea for a brand, and you're growing a brand, and you realize that the enterprise ahead of you is way more than just cold brew coffee. And that is an amazing position to own, an amazing position to be grateful for. And in wrapping this up, one of the first things that came through in our initial conversation was the principle of gratitude. How do you ground all this in personal gratitude?
I think just realizing that I'm able to wake up every day and walk, and eat, right? Like the simple basic things of life you can't ask for much, especially like during this weird pandemic time, right? You get down to the very basic level of, man, I am alive and well today. I appreciate that. And I think Amen. That this time has given me the opportunity to say, like, wow, not only do I get to live every day, but also I get to do my own job, make my own decisions, right? Grow in my own personal life, in whichever way I choose. And a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do that. And I wish they did, right? That's why I have to be grateful every day. Because if I'm not, then this is all for nothing, really, right? Really, right?
Wow. Well, I got to tell you, that is not only how you live in the fullness of stewardship, doing all you can with what you have today. That is, I believe, the secret sauce and how you grow a brand. Jacob, thanks for visiting. I look forward to getting to know you even more. It's an honor to me to know you and for you to spend time with me. And I can't wait to see all that you're going to do in this world.
Ed, thank you so much.
I hope this helps and inspires your day. If any of this works on your business this week, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or please message me directly. Can't wait to see what we chat about on the next episode. We'll see you soon.